A camper van only 6 meters long, tons of storage space, a large kitchen, and 5 belted seats. The EKI 5 from Norantz can do all that. We're here at the Abenteuer Allrad in Bad Kissingen. The vehicle is celebrating its world premiere here. You can find us at stand T10 behind the Defender Island. As you can see behind me, the EKI 5 is built on an MAN chassis, and the special feature is that it moves the sleeping area up into the roof. Basically, the EKI is also available as a vehicle with a pop-top roof, as we see here. Then it's called the EKI 3+2 because it has 3 berths below and 2 in the pop-top. Then on a Mercedes base, which also has its advantages. But in this vehicle, the EKI 5, we have a maximum sense of space thanks to the high roof, maximum sleeping comfort, and of course, much better winter suitability because we can simply sleep completely inside the insulated vehicle. Here you can see the bed now in its converted state. We have a really huge lying surface, 1.50 meters wide by 2 meters long. It's nice that we have a window on both the right and left for cross ventilation, and a large EKI skylight up top as well. If we now take a look at the lower level, you can see that the seating area still has enough headroom. So you can still sit there or stand depending on your height. But it is certainly possible to sit comfortably down there in the space right underneath. To convert it, the front support board is folded down. And then you can simply pull the entire rear section forward. And then it just smoothly slides down here in the rail. And the mattress on top is carefully and fully unfolded. What you can also see quite nicely here is that the vehicle always comes with disc springs. So you have quite good sleeping comfort here, and the mattress itself is made of a very special material. It's super comfortable. It's not a very thick mattress, of course. In this area here, it's currently doubled over. It still needs to be unfolded. But it's super comfortable and really adapts quite pleasantly. We don't have such a thick mattress here, so that headroom isn't lost in the bed area. What's really super impressive about the vehicle and also very pleasant is the sense of space inside. We have a very spacious seating area here. You can fit 5 people comfortably. There are 3 belted seats back there and 2 up here. Of course, it's more comfortable with only 2 people sitting on the bench. We have a great large table, gigantic for a camper van. Even large motorhomes don't have a table this big. For the journey, you take it out if you want, because then it's just easier to turn and move around here. It's very simple. It's just clicked in like this. It's also a very lightweight material, by the way, so I'm not having a hard time lifting it up. And then the leg is folded in here, and the table can be stored wonderfully in the tailgate at the back. Since we've already dismantled the table, I'll also show you how the bed is converted, because then we can do it in one step. Norantz really has a great conversion concept, very simple, and I don't need any additional padding. I'll carefully lift this entire bench section all the way over just like this. It then rests securely right there in the front area, and then I can slowly pull this lower seat bench section down into its final locked position. Yeah, on one hand, it's super easy to convert the bed. On the other, it's not some flimsy contraption, but really stable. It just folds out over the bracket here. I can sit on it, nothing wobbles. So that's really a great design. What's also great is that we can pack all the bedding, which is in the way during the day, nicely back here into the recess. And when we then fold the bench up, it disappears nicely in there. But we won't fold the bench up just yet because I want to show one more thing that's located underneath. Namely, all the electronics are hidden right there. Yeah, so here we see a lot of blue, meaning all the devices installed are from Victron, and a lot of that is already standard. As standard, we always have a 300 ampere hour lithium battery. That's the one sitting down there. We have a second one here in our exhibition vehicle. The vehicle comes from Norantz completely gas-free as standard, which also means with an induction cooker. You can change the order to gas if you want, but we've left it on induction here for our exhibition vehicle. And then we really recommend taking a second battery along with it, otherwise it might be a bit tight. Of course, we also need an inverter. That's installed quite hidden away. You can't see it here. It's sitting underneath, lying on the floor. That's a Multiplus 3000. So we have 2,600 watts continuous power, 6,000 watts peak power. With that, we can actually operate everything here independently. The induction cooktop, a kettle, a hairdryer, the completely normal power outlets. So we are completely self-sufficient. That's also standard, the inverter. In addition, we see these components here. That's all related to the battery for the battery management. We have our Orion here. Those are charge boosters so that the lithium battery is charged accordingly while driving. 50 amperes per battery. Since we have 2 batteries, we have 2. Then we also have our MPPT, maximum point of power tracking, solar charge controller here. The solar system here is optional equipment. And if you order that as well, you also get a corresponding controller like this. Everything here is just neatly installed. Yeah, the founder of Norantz is really something of a tech freak and pays very close attention to detail. Extreme attention to ensuring that everything is just properly documented. For one, there's always a separate folder for it and also how it's installed. And then we fold the whole thing back and it disappears nicely. Under the front area of the bench seat, we also have more tech. There we have the freshwater tank right here. So it's located completely inside the vehicle between the axles. And then we have the heater here. That's a diesel heater included as standard, the Truma Combi 4 unit. Optionally, you can order the Truma 6 here. Under the table here, we have some very clever storage compartments. Just with a net like this, you can always stow everything away quickly before the trip. And here we have the light switch right at the top, a double USB-C socket, and also a 230-volt socket. It's just really convenient. Right here at the table. Yes, for a camper van, this is truly a massive kitchen. What Norantz always does as a concept is a relatively large sink and no wash basin in the bathroom. They say one is enough. This is, of course, extremely large here. Then next to it, we have our induction hob designed here as a double field for the EKI. It comes as standard, but you can also optionally order a gas stove here. And then from here to here, we have complete work and storage space. As I said, for a camper van, that's really massive. And then there's this little board up here that's really super valuable. We were able to test this layout ourselves on vacation, and this is really the logistics spot where you put everything and the other person from the front then moves the things onto the breakfast table. Because what you have to say is the passage here is quite narrow, so that's the small drawback of the layout. The width is simply determined by the kitchen and all the technology installed underneath. And then I can't really get through here like this. We always went sideways, but it's tight. On the other hand, we have a massive amount of space here. It even continues down there. We have pull-out drawers everywhere here. Here too. And down here, there's a flap. That's where the water installation is. A Lily water pump is always installed. There's a screw-on water filter in front of it and the frost protection valve. And we can get to it easily. That is exactly why it is located there. Theoretically, you could store a bit more in there, but you are really not lacking any storage space here. Here we have another 4 additional large drawers. They are all the same in terms of the system. Anyone who's done a bit of research will also know our video of the EKI 3+2. This layout is also available without a high roof, but with a normal roof and then a pop-up roof. And you can see everything is lower then. We benefit back here from this great height of the high roof, and that's why our drawers are also so very deep. And the refrigerator is so nice and high. I almost have to stretch now to reach the top, but it's actually a very comfortable loading height. Next to the refrigerator back here is a huge storage compartment. It's kept open here because that's where the ladder is stored. This is the ladder we need to get up into the bed, and it's conveniently positioned here in a very practical way. Step here once, and then you are right up in bed. I can still get past everywhere wonderfully, so it's not in the way. And of course, you can also use this compartment for a variety of different things and conveniently store even more of your personal items. On the side here, we have a wardrobe with these recessed rails. That's super practical. Theoretically, we can hook in additional hooks. I can also slide these around, reposition them. I'll just put this one back in here. There are also various organizers that you can add on. Here we have a storage shelf. In the kitchen, there's also a paper towel holder. Right here we have light switches and a socket where I can conveniently place my phone, and also another 220-volt outlet. Inside this cabinet, by the way, we have another 220-volt outlet. For a coffee machine, for example, an extra little shelf would need to be mounted. Here too, we benefit from the height of the high roof. We simply have more open storage compartments here. Very useful for just tossing things in there. And you can see it quite well here. Great standing height inside the vehicle. On the side above the kitchen, there is, of course, more storage space. This one here has a roller shutter compartment. And there. There is also a lot of space to store things. Yes, back here is where the bathroom is hidden. We have it right at the very rear. As I said, there's no sink, or rather no sink in the Norantz bathroom. That's handled via the kitchen. We have a decent amount of space here. A Klesana toilet is always installed as standard. There are also other alternatives available as options. We don't need a curtain. And I can confirm from my own experience that it really works. You might have some doubts at first, but everything is water repellent. You don't even necessarily have to wipe it dry. And the material is really durable even when it gets wet. Back here too, we benefit from the vehicle's height due to the high roof. We really have an extreme amount of space here. We have a clothes rail up here that we can pull down. That's always included as standard. We have another storage compartment here, and this is something only available on the high roof vehicle. Behind here is another secret storage compartment. To open it, I have to open the door a little bit, but it spans the entire width, so you can fit quite a lot in there. And then we even have a ledge, like you might have in your shower at home, where you can put your shampoo and so on. Of course, it won't stay there while driving. For that, we have a locked compartment here on the side. Also, always included as standard is a bathroom window and a shower grate below. The shower grate is just very pleasant. I take it out before showering and put it back in afterwards. That way I can walk around in there with dry feet. At this point, we can see all the vibrant colors used here beautifully. We have this shade of green right here and the natural wood. And on the ceiling and also on the side by the front window, this cream faux leather. And there are 3 colors available for each of these. So there are 3 colors for the fabric and 3 colors for this part. Green, red, and a cream tone. The wood tone is always fixed. So it's like this, and here you can choose between black aluminum or silver aluminum. So Norantz really offers an extreme number of variations. Not just in the furniture decor, but also with all the special options you can order. For that, we visited Norantz in the Basque country and filmed it in detail in the factory with all the options. This is our configuration video. You can also find it on our website. So the perspective isn't misleading. I've stood on the bench to explain things up here better. So normally standing height would be about here. The bed area here also benefits us during the day when we push the bed back, giving us a wonderful amount of light in the vehicle through the windows. We also have light on the side here with a gooseneck lamp up here for reading when you're lying in bed. By the way, there's also a USB-C socket on the side. Here's a 220-volt socket, and then we have a light switch up there. And that's for the indirect lighting here on the side. That makes it really nice because we have this 2-stage lighting. We have a light strip down here, always warm light with Norantz, by the way. And we have a light strip up here, and we can dim both of them. There's more storage space back there, but before we open that, let's take a quick look at what we have on the outside. Norantz always offers the option to order these rear carrier plates as well, and you can then flexibly attach various carrier systems there. Here we see a ski and snowboard rack. You can unscrew it in summer and put a bike rack there instead. Here we have a spare tire. It certainly helps to have something like that with you. At Norantz, we managed to do both spare tire on top and the box underneath. The box is really valuable because it goes down even deeper towards the back here, so you can really fit a lot in there. It's ideal for power adapters, water hoses, maybe a few leveling ramps. Yes, and this back here is something truly unique. You won't find this in any other camper van. These storage boxes stacked on top of each other. Super practical. For example, I can say the one at the bottom is my hiking box. The hiking boots are in there. Not in this one. Maybe just because we've arranged the boxes so cleverly right now. Norantz always includes 1 pillow for every person who can travel. And these are very special pillows. They aren't that deep, so we don't lose unnecessary length in the bed. And they're very pleasant once you've touched them. They always bounce back like this. So they're really wonderful pillows. That come with it. Here's the 5th pillow. We have 5 pillows in the vehicle, and then we just have different sizes of storage boxes. 3 large ones, 1 medium, and then 2 small ones on top. You can actually just stand on here quite well. Then I can reach up there properly and just have a super flexible system. Many customers buy additional boxes, so they don't always have to repack, but can... In summer, they grab the 2 summer boxes. In winter, they grab the 2 winter boxes, and the others are always ready at home. Above here is the secret compartment we reached into earlier in the bathroom, so that's where it is. By the way, you can also take the boxes out completely. I saw this recently with some customers. They took out the bottom 3 boxes and put a table and chairs in there instead. You can do that too, of course. Otherwise, depending on which ones you have, there might also be room for a table and chairs here. This specific spot is where the main interior dining table is usually stored away if you don't want to use it, especially when you just want more freedom of movement and extra space to move around inside. And then you can actually lash it down quite securely and well right here in this corner, making sure it is tucked away by using these adjustable straps right here. There's another one at the bottom, and it's just very flexible to use via the eyelets. The awning crank is also stored really well here. And back here we have power outlets and light, just as nice a light as inside. Back here we still have an outdoor shower, which is standard. The shower hose from inside is then simply attached there. If you want, you can also order a second shower hose. If the storage box located back here is ordered, then the auxiliary lighting down here must also be ordered as a mandatory option. Because the turn signal would be hidden, otherwise the box comes out quite a bit. It flashes here, otherwise it wouldn't be visible from over there. And so it flashes down there as well. It's also just a simple bar that runs along the bottom. We've also specifically ordered an optional detachable trailer hitch here. So everything back here can be combined quite well. Yes, here in the entrance area we have a small storage compartment from below. It's quite handy for putting your slippers or something in. And then we see here, we're with the MAN now, a clear advantage compared to the Mercedes. On the MAN, the aisle goes straight through and we only have a small entry step here at the front. On the Mercedes, the step goes all the way back, making the already narrow aisle even narrower. So that's an advantage of the base vehicle here. Now let's do our exterior tour. Looking at it directly from the front, you can clearly see on this specific vehicle that what we chose to order is the durable Raptor paint, which has been applied both on the various plastic applications and now right here on the main body panels as well. Bull bar at the front, that's an optional extra, by the way. So it doesn't have a bull bar as standard, that's an option. We also ordered the laser lamps for the front. That's a really nice addition to the headlights that are already there. Then from the front, a very striking look with the high roof. The high roof was developed by Norantz themselves. You won't find that on any other vehicle, and it's a bit beefier than usual. It goes up steeper, so we don't have a niche at the front, but plenty of space in the footwell. If you look very closely, you can also see a solar panel on it. There's a 200-watt solar package for the high roof that you can order. It's at the front, left and right of the window, and then across the back. So it's a highly advanced and sophisticated solar panel arrangement. We also specifically ordered the snorkel for this vehicle. Norantz offers many optional extras. Snorkel? I think for this vehicle, let me think, we ordered pretty much everything you can possibly order just so we can show it. Looking back here at this section, it has more Raptor coating. The Raptor paint here above the window is actually something that is always included as standard. Just like we have sides frame windows as standard, we also ordered the awning installed right on top, the beautiful outdoor lighting, and of course, very importantly, a protective screen door here for the sliding door. I would be more than happy to demonstrate that. We just pull it across like this, just like that. We also ordered different wheels for this vehicle, Delta rims and loader tires, 17 inches. We can't fit anything larger than 17 inches on the MAN. Otherwise, it comes standard on 16-inch steel rims. Then for our exhibition vehicle here, we also ordered recovery boards as well. They're mounted up there. By the way, you can even choose the color. So Norantz goes that far with the details in their accessory orders. We chose the bronze color for these. So there are really no limits to the customization. Yes, let's take a look at the front, at the MAN cab for a bit. What's always really nice about the MAN is the width we have up here, and that the Remy blinds on the side, unlike in the Mercedes, don't take away the armrest space here. So you can really use them well here. We have these items right here, and then we also have the ones in the very front that pull all the way across. And then the corresponding counterpart comes from the other side. Then, for this vehicle, we also ordered the navigation system here, or the large screen. The vehicle comes as an automatic with 177 horsepower. And what's great about the MAN is that we have a switchable differential lock for the rear axle. I do that right here. The vehicle as it stands here costs about 185,000 euros. Since it's our exhibition vehicle, we really packed everything into it. In principle, you can equip the MAN much more affordably. This vehicle here is for sale. It can be seen at the Abenteuer Allrad show, but of course we're also happy to configure it individually. Delivery time at Norantz is about 6 to 9 months. Yes, after Abenteuer Allrad, the EKI 5 will come to our station in Grunbach. You can also take a look at the vehicle there, of course, and we have even more to show. For one, there's the EKI 3+2, which is the EKI based on Mercedes, which can also be configured. In this case, it doesn't have a high roof, but a pop-up roof instead. But an EKI based on Mercedes is also supposed to come with a high roof, I can tell you that much. And also to be seen at our station is the EPAR 2+2, which is the second layout from Norantz, a classic camper van, 6 meters transverse rear bed. By the way, it's also available on an MAN base, so you always have the choice MAN or Mercedes and then high roof or pop-up roof. Wherever we might meet at the Abenteuer Allrad, we'd love to see you here because the atmosphere is just fantastic, or in a more relaxed setting at our home. We look forward to your visit.